stuff over 27 years ago, and I had writer's block for 20 years. And about 10 years ago, I was just going through some things, questioning every part of my life, my purpose, my career, my family, and someone said, give it to God. But I had already tried God, and I had more questions than answers, but I had no other options. There was nothing left to try but God. And I went to a women's seminar one day and got so inspired, and I said, by next year I want to be in that. And it took me a year to write my poem, but I did it, and so I've been writing ever since. So this poem is called My Lord, My Testimony, and I.
Amen.
So I had doubts in my mind. For the true answers I could never find. Although I tried and I tried, I just couldn't conceptualize why he would make that type of sacrifice just to save this tainted soul of mine. And so I cried and I cried. From my pain I could no longer hide. Although I did try to hide. But God, he was kind. He said, hold on, Lakeisha, these things take time. But I am divine. You may not see it now, but there's always a reason in my rhyme. So then I couldn't deny that I required a little more insight.
All right.
So God, he obliged, for he knew my vision wasn't right. And then he lent me his eyes, and suddenly I began to regain my sight. And I got chills in my spine, and I had to get wise, for I was so afraid I was headed towards my demise. But God said, don't worry, everything will be all right. For he already had a plan, and it was perfect. It was airtight. And I wanted to believe, which meant I had to continue to fight. And I looked at that devil and said, not tonight. But I had to remain humble, and I had to swallow my pride.
All right now.
And no matter how much I stumbled, God still agreed to let me inside. He said, but first, all his rules I must follow and abide. And there are no other answers but to simply comply. And not until then would my fears truly subside. But I was stubborn, so I still didn't get why. So God, he kept sending me more signs. But this time they were subtle, they were intertwined. So deep in my consciousness, I thought he was playing with my mind. But God don't play those type of games. Although he is clever and he is wise. And he will name names. And he'll call us out every time. He told me, don't you listen to that devil. For that devil is a lie. And you can't worship two leaders, as our worlds don't coincide. So you can't have it both ways, and there is no compromise. And I thought, yes, I finally get it. I took over my life. God said, girl, you ain't finished. You're not going to get it on the first try. So then I had to seek to find all the hidden clues he left behind. For he said my path would be clear if I just read between the lines. But you know what? That devil, he thought I still had doubts. And he continued to pursue me. And he offered other options as he tried to confuse me. But this time I was prepared. And I refused to let him use me. And I was no longer scared. And I said, Lord, I choose thee. So today I had to testify and share with you my struggles, my demons, and my strife. For now I feel so much joy and I can't hold it inside.
All right.
For I finally realized that my Lord is the only reason I'm alive. So I looked up to that sky with my head held high. And I said, Father, I appreciate all the wisdom you provide. And I will continue to climb and reach the heights that you have defined. For I know that I was created in your perfect design. And I will always shine as long as I'm shining in your lights. But I realize that your love is what's giving me flight. And I certify I will worship you with all my might. For you gave me back my voice. And I will never again drop my mic. And I.